Dun 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 bounce dun 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 dun.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another live stream by your favorite YouTuber of all time, Killbot and Gorgor Thach. I am Tony. I have a lot of things to discuss with you lovely people. And, you know, I've had many adventures of my own lately. So, bring your woes, bring your worries, bring your questions, bring your stories. Bring everything. We'll talk it all. Relationships, family, politics, please don't. Music, metal, industrial, goth, punk, everything. Yes, collectibles. I'm looking forward to hearing from all of you little pretties. Out comes the Killbot. Half a pound of Mountain Dew, half a pound of Cheetos. That's the way the story goes. Out comes the Killbot. I don't know. Okay, Mr. Deakite. Hey, how you doing? Doing wonderful. Living my God. Actually made it this time. That's good. Do the Drew. Hey, what's up? Hey, man. Hi. Jesus built my guitar tabs. Hey. All the usual suspects are coming in here. Unicode machine asking if I'm going to Pig. Probably not. Because they're not coming anywhere near me. Okay, let me go get my Gatorade right quick. And we will be golden. And as I just mentioned, I'm drinking Gatorade because this Saturday is going to be 10 weeks since my last Mountain Dew. That's right. No soda for close to 2 months. I've been sleeping a lot better, and I didn't realize how friggin' dehydrated I was. Yeah. Mr. Darkmoor, are you into Thrash and Death? Of course, man. I built my channel on it. Zach Hurley. Earlier in England, so I'm able to be here. Thank you, Killbot. Thank you for being here. I love hearing about all these lovely people from across the world. You know, I got fans over in Singapore and Japan, and I love it. Let's see. Daisy F. First stream I made. Well, that's lovely. Thank you so much. Hopefully you keep coming back for more, because these streams always tend to have a little bit of chaos thrown into them. Justice for All. We're all going to see Korn and Gohira and Spirit Box in October. Well, that's cool. That's cool. You called us little pretties like the Wicked Witch of the West. Yes. Austin Barr. Just checked out Jenna Torturers. It was interesting. Dude, Jenna Torturers rules. I got a picture with Jen after the show in Charlotte back in 2019. They opened up for Lords of Acid. It was my first time hearing any of their songs, seeing them live, and as much as I love Lords of Acid, Jenna Torturers stole the show that night. They were just so good. Now, if the shows disturbed you from recently, go on YouTube and check out their shows from the 90s. Because they got away with a whole lot of stuff that they wouldn't be able to get away with now. like the reason they got their name, Jenna Torturers. They were bringing people onto the stage and piercing them right there on stage in front of everybody, and piercing everywhere. Clits, penises, nipples, stomachs, just anything you can think of, they pierced it. Thach. I tried to give up soda this week, lasted 2 days. Oh, well. You know, it was, you can always try again next time. Try meditating. Really, it helps. Keeps your mind on the prize. Do the Drew. An old lady saw my Cannibal Corpse eaten back to life shirt, and she looked traumatized. Good! Joey. Hi! I love the streams because as a 13-year-old death metal lover, I have no friends that like my music. Don't worry, man. When you get older, all of your friends will become more hardcore. You'll drop all of your My Little Pony friends, and they're all going to want to listen to awesome stuff like Demolic, and Carcass, and Carnage, and Convulse, and Bathory and Cadaver. I'm doing a lot of A, B, and C bands. Oh, okay, so Obituary. Okay, that's not a C band. Nile, Bolt Thrower, Autopsy. Yeah, you're gonna do Autopsy. Hey, Mayhem. You know, black metal. Lay down your soul to the gods. Rock and roll. Kurt Ramone, how was the Lords of Acid gigs you went to, and are there any upcoming gigs you look forward to? Dude, I did 3 videos on Lords of Acid in the past month. All based on this past tour. The links are in the description. The names of them are Concert Stories Part 5. I have 3 stories. One on X Order, one on High on Fire. The last one being on Lords of Acid. Starts about 10 minutes into the video. The second one is called Getting Wild with Lords of Acid in Minneapolis. That's a standalone video. Really awesome. And this latest one is called How I Got to Sing for Lords of Acid in Los Angeles. It is my favorite of the 3 because it is pretty lighthearted. You know, everybody just looks like they're having a great time. They're all laughing, joking, hugging. It was exciting. It really was. And, you know, I'm going to be talking more about this video and that show at length. So, if anybody hasn't seen that video, now is the time to click away, watch that video right quick, and then you can come back. I'll be sure that, you know, I space things out so that way you don't miss anything. And the cool thing is you don't really have to watch the other 2 videos to understand what goes on in this one. You know, I do a quick recap so that way it stands on its own. But it was one of the best nights of my life. I got to perform live on stage for the first time with one of my favorite bands, no less. You know, that sure beats playing live with a shitty high school band that didn't go anywhere, you know what I mean? Rowan Becker, giving up soda is tough stuff. Good job, bro. Well, and it's helped with my eating habits as well because I'm eating less for the most part. I do have to get the crunch bars under control, but other than that, like, that's easy. Lunar Blood Reviews. I need some music for Heartbreak. My partner just ghosted me after I asked why he could do chainmail but not post me. Okay, I didn't understand that last part, but man, fuck. So they were with you and they ghosted you? Dude, that sucks. Look, I've been ghosted many times before. I've also been ghosted pretty recently by someone who I thought was a friend. You know, she offended me in our last phone call, and to me, all I would have needed to hear was an I'm sorry. I didn't think it was anything worth ending a friendship over, but apparently she thought different. But enough about me. Heartbreak music. So there's a song by Praga Khan. Yep, I'm going to be doing a lot of this tonight. I'm going to be recommending Praga stuff. It's called Love You Still. So it's a heartbreak song, but you're going to go fucking dancing and raving and shit. It's going to be awesome. What else? Oh Girl by the Shy Lights. Oh girl, I'd be in trouble if you left me now, 'cause I don't know where to look for love. I just don't know how. Any of you seen The Sopranos? Yep, you probably know it already. So yeah. There's also Forever Hate You by Deicide. You know, that's gonna turn things around. Instead of being sad and heartbroken, you're gonna want to rip her fucking heart out and hold it in front of her. I'm sorry, I don't know what gender you are or they are, but whatever. Just apply what I just told you to your current situation. And remember, no matter how hot they are, someone somewhere is sick of their shit. Nurgle Filth Shagrath. I'm going to have a hard time with these names tonight. I'm sorry in advance, everybody. First made to your stream. Hey, thank you so much. Hopefully you have a great time. And of course, since I'm a salesman, I'm here to show my products. So we have Killbot and Gorgor Attack patches. These are $6.66 with free shipping anywhere in the world. You can buy them on my Bandcamp. You can buy them directly from me on social media. I have Facebook and Instagram if you choose to do so. I also have stickers that are $2 a piece. And of course, I have t-shirts. because I am just that fucking awesome. These are about $20 a piece. You can buy them on Amazon. You can buy them directly from me. Yeah, and you can also buy them on my Patreon if you choose that reward. It's a one-time thing as far as that goes. So please be sure to buy my stuff if you choose to do so. All right, we're 10 minutes in, so let's go ahead and see what happens. Thank you very much for existing. Thank you, Saya. Nurgle, I saw Tarja for the first time, but I never felt happy and suffered from the heat because air conditions were turned off. Dude, that sucks. I've been there, though. I'm going to tell you about a recent experience that I had the other... It was this past weekend, actually. This was awesome, so I'd never done this before. I went to a death metal show and goth night, same night. From now on, I'm going to refer to this phenomenon as a double feature. Double feature, picture show. Dun, dun. Anyway, so last week was the 2-year anniversary of me dumping my sorry ex. She hasn't missed. And in the same week, I went to my first goth night because I was sitting around the house and my best friend, she was like, hey, look, you need to get out of the house, so why don't you just come to goth night with me? And fortunately, I'd never been in this club before, the Wicked Witch in Raleigh, North Carolina. And after going, I had the time of my life. And I try to go to every goth night I can go to. Never missed one as long as I've been in town. I have a fucking great time there. And, you know, I celebrated last year and I celebrated this year too. I even got to talk to the DJ, Nathan, a little bit. Super awesome guy. A fucking incredible set list every time he plays. Every time you see he's on the bill, you know it's going to be a great night. But, yeah, so I already had my ticket for goth night. And what I didn't realize was that Necrot, I knew they were playing the same weekend. I didn't realize they were playing the same night. So I was like, you know, a death metal show ends usually at 11 at night. Goth night goes on until 2. And goth night doesn't really get going until about 10, 11-ish. It's time for me to Gatorade up. So I went to Pride earlier in the day. Fucking melted in the heat. The fucking heat got to me big time. That was the first Pride I'd been to since 2011 probably. Had a good time. Then, of course, I drove back to McKay's because my man Chris, he wanted me to shop for toys for him. And later in the night, went to the death metal show. Of course, Bat played. And that shit was awesome. And caught a guitar pick from Necrot. That was my second time seeing Necrot. It was wonderful. And, of course, this was at a place called Chapel of Bones. It is a new venue that has been risen from the ashes of an old venue known as the Maywood that closed down during COVID. A lot of us North Carolinians were pretty heartbroken when it closed, and I kind of know one of the owners. He dated a friend of mine for a while. And so Chapel of Bones, they hosted their own goth night. It was like their second goth night. They just started doing it about 2 weeks ago, and it was really good. They have a little room to improve, I think, but they'll figure something out. It was really nice to see what they did with the place after reopening it. And as far as Necrot goes, if you can see Necrot on this tour, go do it, because those guys embody death metal. Like, it's a perfect bridge between the old school sound and the new school sound. So a lot of old death metal fans can love Necrot, and a lot of new death metal fans can love Necrot. And we got a super chat from Layla Lover. Hello there. Let me see if I can show you on the screen. Thank you so much. And as the past streams have dictated, $20 means my shirt comes off for a few minutes. So, $20 means my shirt comes off for about 20 minutes. So, if anybody's willing to take the plunge, I've been eating pretty good lately, so I'm feeling myself. But yeah, Necrot did excellent. They played a great set list. Saw a few friends I hadn't seen in a while. And then afterwards, went to the Wicked Witch, which is the 3-minute drive down the road. And of course it's hot at a death metal show because everybody's moshing, stage diving, headbanging, having a blast. But they installed AC at the Wicked Witch, and they still didn't have it on. It was actually hotter inside than it was outside. And it was fucking hot that day. But 12 o'clock at night, it was humid, but a lot of us were just walking outside because we were like, fuck, man. Like, I was wiping sweat off on the dance floor every 5 minutes practically. Like, I switched shirts. I was wearing a rainbow death metal shirt because, you know, Pride happened that day. And I switched from that to my Zymox shirt for Goth Night, which I was totally okay with because, you know, it's like the best of both worlds. One of my favorite YouTubers and I, we were having a conversation pretty recently. She was a fan of Lords of Acid back in the 90s when Voodoo U came out. And she was interested in watching my video that I did. And she was like, look, you're doing great for the community because you're showing that, you know, alternative people, they don't have to box themselves in. You know, you're a metalhead while wearing a skinny puppy shirt, while singing 2 songs for a techno band, and you're going to Goth Nights. So it's like, wow, you're doing a good thing for the alternative scene. I'm like, well, thank you so much. You know, I'm pretty versatile. So the point of this discussion is to say that in 1 hour, I'm stage diving and headbanging to Necrot and Bat. And then the next hour, I'm swaying and pulling off cobwebs and, you know, tearing it up on the dance floor. And I will say this, the cage that they have, I've talked about the cage at length in these streams before. I stayed in that damn cage for 30 minutes because I was feeling really good that night. Yeah. Oh, hey, we got another super chat. Hello. Another $10. Okie dokie. I'm Adam. Hey, Adam, what's up? So, I think since Adam did this, I'm going to cheat the rules slightly. Here we go. Also, by the way, if you see the new video, you do see me kind of shirtless. I'm wearing a dress, so there you go. So yeah, that's the whole gist of the adventures. I'd never done that before, going to a show and then going to Goth Night afterwards. Well, technically that's not true. I went to Skinny Puppy, then I went to the after party in New York City, DEF CON, which I guess could count as a Goth Night. I don't know. But this was different because reasons. I don't know. Butchered, random as fuck, but I went to the 2 Death shows in Berkeley, and they were the best shows I've been to. Seeing John Allen there also made me hella excited to see the Sadist show next month. Hey, that's lovely. Sadist is still around. New Haven Railroad Productions, nice bolt throw poster. You know, Joe Bench herself sent me that. She sent me that as a thank you for doing the bolt thrower video back in 2017. My respect for that band was already high, but it flew through the roof that night. We got another super chat. Hello, They Live We Sleep sent $5. Hey, Tony, are you going to be in love tomorrow? Fuck. Wouldn't that be nice? That way I can get off the damn dating apps. It's lonely here in North Carolina. You know, like, you get on the dating apps and, like, they're all hardcore drinkers and their music taste sucks. And, like, they're all into poly shit. I'm not into that. Sucks I can't find any songs similar to I'm the One by Van Halen. I'd love to dig in more into that hard rock swing like that. Go listen to David Lee Roth's solo album, Eat 'Em and Smile. There's a song on there called Shy Boy. The thing about David Lee Roth is with that album, he went more in a lounge direction. Like, it's still a rock album, but with David Lee Roth and Van Halen, they kind of balance each other out. Like, he was a lounge, swing, jazz-ish singer to begin with. And Van Halen, they were Van Halen, but they balance each other out. Because I'm the One, there's that part, ba-ba-da, shoo-ba-doo-wah, ba-ba-da, shoo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-wah, ba-ba-da, shoo-ba-doo-wah. Well, you know, when David Lee Roth went solo, he was doing I'm Just a Gigolo. I ain't got nobody. You know, went full-on lounge without as much of the rock stuff. But, you know, every once in a while on Eat 'Em and Smile, Steve Vai and the drummer, fucking awesome drummer, can't remember his name, Yeah, there were some hard rockin' tunes on there. So yeah, go check that out. Also, avoid anything David Lee Roth did solo after A Little Ain't Enough. And honestly, I'd stay away from Skyscraper too, because that one kind of sucked. A Megalomaniac. Any hopes for the new Ministry album? No, any hopes for the new Ministry album? Absolutely. And this is one of the things I wanted to discuss tonight. You see, Al Jorgensen and Paul Barker are working together again. It's amazing! The real Ministry is back. Okay? Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, well, you know, Paul Raven's a great bass player, and Tony Campbell is a great bass player, you know. They had good songs, you know, Paul Barker. No, okay? Those two need each other like burgers and bacon. Okay? Like, you had the psychedelic left field elements of Paul Barker, then you had the loud, roaring, rock and roll style of Al Jorgensen, and those two complemented each other well. You know, Rio Grande Blood, The Last Sucker, those are just metal, metal, metal all the way. And then you had Paul's stuff, which is good, but, you know, listening to it on its own, I only want to listen to so much of it before I get bored. But when they're together, you get these wonderful things like Filth Pig and Dark Side of the Spoon and The Mind is a Terrible Thing to Taste. And we might get that again. You know, they've already said that they're going to re-record some of the With Sympathy songs for this album. What I would rather they do, personally, is put the With Sympathy stuff as bonus tracks or as its own separate EP, and then just do a full-on dedicated Ministry album with Al and Paul, okay? That's what we need. I don't care about revisiting the past. I don't care about With Sympathy, okay? Everybody and their mother loves that album. I don't get it. You know, it blows my mind when people say, oh, With Sympathy is Ministry's best album. What the hell are you smoking? I want some. But who am I to judge? After all, it's the same band that did Filth Pig, one of my favorite albums of all time. If you love With Sympathy as much as I love Filth Pig, our hearts can coexist. Shea Tyranny, do you like the band Abscess? I fucking love the band Abscess. Better carry mace, better be aware. She wants to run her fingers through your pubic hair. Fuzzy nipple awaiting the heated suckle. Camel toe exposed will make your knees buckle. The lyrics are ridiculous, man. And then there's Seminal Vampires and Maggot Men. So fucking good. And among the first metal releases I ever got into, a friend of mine's at a band called Population Reduction. And so I bought this because I wanted to hear the Pop Redux side. Well, that's how I got into Abscess. Which in turn is how I got into Autopsy. Because I realized that they're pretty much the same band. But yeah, if you haven't heard this split album by Population Reduction and Abscess, go listen to it. It's fucking gnarly grindcore, man. So good. And Pop Redux was the last band to ever do a split with Abscess. I miss Abscess. What's your opinion on the recent re-recordings of Sepultura by a Megalomaniac? I don't care. I have the originals. I'll listen to those. I don't really care about re-recordings. Blue Mountain Dew 14. Oh, what flavor of Blue Mountain Dew? Is it the Batman Dark Berry? Or is it the Voodoo? Inquiring minds want to know. I'm seeing Megadeth in September. What can I expect there? I don't know. I've never seen them. Thinking about going to see them when they tour because I've never seen them. And with Dave's health problems, I'm thinking maybe I should go see him before I can't. Megan Raquel, hey, it's the bringer of the doll. How you doing? Nurgle, Lords of Acid made you a pervy dude, man. Dude, they found, I was like this long before them, but they woke something dark in me. The Painless. Finding out about Lords of Acid through you has been the key to my love for techno and rave music. Now I can't get enough of it. Thanks, man. Thank you so much. And like I said, you guys still have a few minutes before I start talking about the Lords of Acid shows at length. In the description below is my latest video. If you haven't seen it, it's called How I Got to Sing for Lords of Acid in Los Angeles. And yeah, I'm going to speak a little bit more at length. A couple things are going to have to stay off the record for now, but it was an incredible night. And Megan will tell you, she's in the chat. She was there. She's in the video. Go harass her. No, don't actually do that. She's a friend of mine. But if you like Lords of Acid, obviously you need to go check out some of Praga's solo stuff. The album Pragmatic. All of his solo albums are on Bandcamp. In fact, most of the songs that he played live were on that album, 20th Century Skin and Mutant Funk. Great albums. Yeah, I've been playing with the synths recently, and there's an arpeggiated like synth sequence that I've been trying to recreate that he did on this song called Love You Still. It's kind of hard. It's harder to do than it sounds like it is. And I don't know what synth he used, but here's a little piece of curios. And for some reason, it slipped my mind to tell him that I even had this. They were doing the Kickstarter campaign a few years ago for the Pretty in Kink album. My name is in the liner notes because that's one of the rewards. Among the other ways they raise money for the album, here is a key that was used on the Lords of Acid albums Far Stucker and Our Little Secret. This synth was also used on a few Praga Con projects as well. The synth is the Nord lead. And judging that some of my favorite synth sounds ever come from Far Stucker and Our Little Secret, I love having collectibles like that anyway, and I'm proud to have that. It cost me about $70. Now, I totally forgot to tell him that I had it, but next time I talk to him, whenever that happens to be. Had to move away from the only town I've lived in with a solid alternative community. Hey, you'll find new stuff. I can almost promise. Okay, now let's go ahead and read more of these comments. A-Man98, hoping to catch Repulsion in August. This is the first time in 20 years they're playing their home state. Sometimes I forget that those guys are still around. I'd love to see them. Wait. I get it. I have a hard time talking to you. I don't know why, but women are hard to talk to. I'm not a woman. I have a penis. Want to see it? Not just playing. Can't do that here. I hate dating apps. I've tried polyamory, and it just ends with me very hurt. Monogamy for the win. Well, you know, everybody has different relationship styles. You know, what works for you might not work for somebody else, and vice versa. I'm not saying that any style that somebody chooses is wrong. I'm just saying that a lot of it isn't for me. Some of that is simply because I'm afraid. Like, I'm willing to try most things once, but knowing my behaviors and my thoughts, I can predict the outcome of certain things. And also, watching other people get themselves into messes, I'm doing my best to try to prevent some of that. So, yeah. But Austin, don't be scared to talk to women. You know, just be cool, be open, and they can feel your nervousness, by the way. So just walk up and don't talk to them like you're stupid. I don't know. And don't talk to them like they're stupid either. I don't know. And have something interesting to say. Don't be like, oh, I was reading this article once about... Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that until you're on like the second or third date. A lot of the women these days are feminists. Well, I'm kind of a feminist too, so I don't know. Well, I don't align myself with any groups, but I do agree with a lot of their literature. I'll say that. Kevin Hampton, I really like the recent stuff Barker has put out as Lead into Gold. The Sun Behind the Sun is incredible. The one after that, I'm indifferent towards, to be honest. Okay, we're going to keep scrolling down because, hey, Pete Knox is here. Welcome. Welcome. Your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete loved the Lords of Acid video. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you loved it. And speaking of Lords of Acid, Unit Code Machine. First Lords of Acid show I saw was the Our Little Secret tour. It was great. Oh, what city was that in? A megalomaniac. Petition for Tony to be on the next Lords of Acid album. Well, after the show, he did say that he wanted to work with me. Over and over. And I said, listen, if it's singing, I'll do it. If it's hauling gear, I'll do it. Just give me a call. You know how to reach me. We'll see if he takes me up on it. I don't know. But they know my answer. They know how to reach me. Liv, oh my god, I saw one of your old videos that had Dystopia in it. They're amazing, man. Yep, I burned a CD for a friend of mine that I sort of have a crush on. And it had Dystopia on it. And I called her up about a month later. I was like, hey, so did you hear any of that stuff that I burned you? She was like, yeah, I really love Dystopia. I'm like, they were my favorite band for many years. You know, that's a good sign right there, I think. Do the Drew. Killbot OnlyFans for. Hey, wouldn't that be nuts? Vile Harpsichord. Hey, welcome back. You know, you've showed up in the last several streams. I never even heard of Lords of Acid till your video. Needless to say, I'm intrigued. Okay, so how many of you have seen the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie? Or how many of you have heard the song Mortal Kombat? Mortal Kombat! Dun 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 dun. Well, that's Lords of Acid. It's just under a different name. Yeah, it was a great time. I have nothing but great things to say about that band. Andrew Gabriel, you're the reason I got into Dystopia as well. Well, I'm so glad to hear that. So, speaking of Dystopia, I have a new song coming up. It's called Crossed Wires. The guitars are tuned to A, just like Dystopia. Yep, the guitars sound like they're vomiting. It's nuts. Why don't I play some guitar for you guys? We're gonna try something new. We're gonna plug the interface in. We're gonna start up GarageBand and see if this will work. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it doesn't feedback too hard. And we're gonna add some distortion to this fucker. Okay, the fan's not blowing on this side, which means we're doing good. We got the Harley Benton here, the baritone. The Immortals, yep, that's right, the Immortals. And it's not finished yet. I'm still mixing. It's mostly recorded. I want to double track the drums if I can because it sounds a little mechanical. Which it's sort of an industrial-ish song anyway. But whatever. Opinion on Depeche Mode. Okay, recently I got to watch the Depeche Mode live video 101. Came out in 1988. And it was a great concert, but it was like the cameraman was really infatuated with Dave Gann's bottom half. So like in the beginning of the movie, there was like a low camera angle, and you could see the bulge in Dave's pants. And then through the concert, Dave's doing this like pelvic thrust kind of thing. And all the girls in the audience are going, ah! And then, you know, at some point in the concert, Dave's like shaking his butt. And the camera's like focused right on it. And all the girls in the audience were like, ah! And then Martin goes to sing a couple songs. He goes to sing Somebody. And he's talking about, I want someone who listened to me, and in return I'll listen to them. Something like that. And the girls are like, ah! It was a very different Depeche Mode than what we would get in the 90s, which to me is the ultimate Depeche Mode. Okay. Let's plug this in. See how loud I can get this fucker to be. And I'm going to have to mute the video on YouTube. Oh, fuck. Okay, just do me a favor and let me know if it feedbacks at all. It sounds like it's feedbacking. When do we get a Killbot techno track? Oh, okay. Turn that down. Okay, turn that down. You will get a Killbot techno track. Well, technically Downstream was Darkwave. So if you go on my Bandcamp and go on my YouTube channel and look up the song Downstream, it is a goth, industrial-ish track. And I was told recently that it sounded like Lycia and Skinny Puppy had a baby. Killbot industrial era. Man, wouldn't that be great? Feedbacks, I mean your vocals do. I don't know if that's the intention. No. Yeah, it's feedbacking. Close that down. There needs to be an easier way for me to do that because I would love to play guitar for you guys sometime, and that doesn't. Oh, please tell me that didn't leave a mark anywhere. No, it didn't. Okay, I'm just gonna place this on the bed, away from harm. Okay, and I think the 20 minutes are up, so the shirt is going back on until somebody can pay me more money. Okay. Hair's kind of fucked up. Okay. Sounds like Guitar Hero button smashing. Yep. Unfortunate, isn't it? Just about my guitar tabs. Hey, Tony, what's some good Lords of Acid songs to listen to? Tried getting into them, but I guess they're too sexy for me or I listen to the wrong songs. Try Drink My Honey. Try Lucy's Fucking Sky. Try Out Comes the Evil. Pussy, of course. The lyrics are ridiculous. Like, you listen to it for the fun of it. You know, the lyrics are so over the top and playful and fucking crazy. And then, of course, there's I Set on Acid, their big famous one from 1988. They were part of a musical genre called New Beat, which was a mostly European, mostly Belgian music genre, highly sexual dance music. And I Set on Acid was one of the singles they put out that year, in 1988. Well, that scene had died out, but I Set on Acid, even long after the scene was dead, was still selling. So record company asked them to make a whole album, and that's what they did. And they got super popular in America once they added guitars. Let's see. The Condor JC. Hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing, man? Do the Drew. Do you prefer Chris Barnes or George Fisher? George Fisher. But, yeah. So, Crossed Wires, it isn't finished yet, but it's going to be a great song when it comes out. It still has to be mixed. And then, of course, yesterday I started playing with my synths. I'm trying to do a sexy, trip-hoppy type song. You know, some girls like some nice and slow, downbeat. We'll see. I'm excited for it all. Okay, so for everybody who's just joining in, we have Killbot patches, $6.66 a piece. Free shipping anywhere in the world. You can buy it on my Bandcamp, or you can buy it from me personally on my social media pages. All you gotta do is send me a DM, have PayPal. I also have stickers, $2 a piece. And I'm gonna unplug this so I don't trip over it. I have Killbot shirts. $20 a piece. You can buy these from me directly. You can buy them on my Patreon, or you can buy them on Amazon. So yeah, you go do that. I need your money. Anyway, Vile harpsichord. Your last Lords of Acid video made me realize how good your singing is. I mean, I knew you could sing, but I realized how good of a vocalist you are. Aw, thank you. Thank you so much. Apparently they liked it too, because like if you saw the video, you could see that they were like, "You did it! You sung songs!" Oliver was really excited. Such a great guy. I miss him. Some gothic ladies will like it. Yep, I hope so. Just got done listening to the Great Southern Trendkill Weird album, but friggin' awesome. Well, I guess you're bringing this up because of my video on it a few months back. I'm making a battle jacket, so I definitely need to buy a patch. Well, come on and do it, man. $6, 66 cents a piece. Free shipping anywhere in the world. That's 2 gallons of gasoline for me. And gasoline lately is what's killing me. So, there you go. Yeah. You got shirts? Fuck yeah, dude. I'm capping one of them. Yes, I have 2 shirt designs. I need to get a 3rd one, but we're going to see. And also, I'm contemplating putting Tales from the Tube on cassette. Doing a self-release type thing. Because having physical music pressed is expensive, but I have a feeling that if I were to do a limited press of 300, it'll pay for itself in 70 sales. And then it's full-on profit mode. Now, there are enough people who watch my channel that collect cassettes that I think I can recoup it without issues. But of course, I'm going to have to offer something new if I'm going to do that, so Cross Wires is going to need to come out first. And then maybe I can put the new mix of Limerence on there, Seth Putnam's Grave on there, a Downstream maybe. It's going to be weird having Downstream on there because all the other songs are metal. This one isn't. But, you know, it's a collection of songs. So good. Red Gatorade. Any good black metal documentaries you recommend? Somebody in the comments help me out. My mind's blanking. But yeah. So check out this recent acquisition. We've got the Tony Martin box set, Black Sabbath. This is Black Sabbath, Anno Domini, 1989 to 1995. I got this the day it came out. It doesn't have everything by Tony Martin, but it's got the albums Headless Cross, Tear, Cross Purposes, and a remixed version of Forbidden. Sounds a million times better than the original, even if they use different takes. It comes with these cool posters and stuff, and this big tour book. Ugh. See, I had the originals a long time ago, and then I sold them when I got out of CDs. And they're kind of a pain in the ass to find if you want the originals, but yeah, here's a badass poster. Yeah. See, people are going to dismiss any Black Sabbath that doesn't have Ozzy Osbourne on it. I say fuck those people. Because you know what? The Dio years, Dio is so much of a better vocalist than Ozzy, it's not even a comparison. I don't know why we're having that argument, but like, some people are going to be like, oh, well, the chemistry of Black Sabbath was right when it was Bill Ward and Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, sure, but different incarnations. You got to be able to accept change sometimes. Because really, if you miss out on those albums, you miss out on some great songs. And I think the reason the Tony Martin box set is getting so successful right now is because people aren't as purist now as they used to be, so they're willing to accept different changes in the timeline, especially since Black Sabbath is no longer together. Your favorite death metal album of all time? My favorite 2 are Left Hand Path and Mental Funeral. Autopsy. What's your favorite modern day death metal band? Necrot. Eccentric and Mulga. Hey, what's up? Look at that box set made me cream my shorts. When I was younger, I used to have the Rules of Hell box set. That was the Dio years. And the box set was really cool. The mastering kind of sucked. Fortunately, if you get the deluxe editions of these albums, they actually sound really good. They came out a few years ago. They are remastered by a gentleman named Andy Pierce. He remastered Heaven and Hell, Mob Rules, and Dehumanizer. I think he also did Live Evil. So, like, as long as you get The Eternal Idol on its own, after you get the Tony Martin box set, this is the only one that's missing. And honestly, I listened to it again recently. It's okay. Probably their worst album, if I'm being honest. But Black Sabbath's worst album is still better than a lot of bands' worst albums. So, there you go. Teenage Metal Critic, if you were in a band, what would you call it? I'd call it something nasty. You know, something raunchy. Something with maybe a double entendre. Okay, when I was a teenager, I had a little garage project with a neighbor of mine. It wasn't really anything that went anywhere, but we called it Backdoor Bangers. I named it. And one of our songs is on the channel. It's a song called Blushing. You're going to have to reach way far back into my catalog to go find it, but it was a good song. He's dead now. He was a paranoid schizophrenic. He died at the age of 22, I believe. He overdosed. Suicide. That was a hard day when I found that news out. Colin Taylor, yo Tony, been a big fan for a little while. I like your vinyl reviews. Thank you so much. Well, I'm glad you like them because I'm not doing them anymore. Because I got out of records. I sold pretty much all my records and rebought them all on CD. So it's been nice because for each record that I sell, I can buy 2 or 3 CDs with them. The cost of vinyl is exorbitant. I know a lot of people are big vinyl collectors, but I can't do it. Can't do it anymore. Gasoline's too high. Inflation's too high. Yeah. What else can I talk about? Oh, so did any of you see that The Sword is reuniting? Yeah, they're playing at this festival, Levitation, in Texas, in October. The Sword is back together. I like The Sword. So, if any of you weren't aware of that news, go check them out. What else can I talk about? Oh yeah, so other things are coming up. Let's see. Dark Tranquility and Amorphous are going on tour soon. Nails is going on tour soon. They're coming to Greensboro. Let's see. Mad Monster, that's a convention that's going on in Concord, North Carolina. And Ogre is going to be there. Yeah, I'm going to see Ogre again. I'm kind of waiting on, you know, the dates. I'm waiting to buy the tickets because my friend Moth, she's playing a show with some band I want to see. I want to see her band too, don't get me wrong, but she's like, oh, we haven't figured out the dates yet, but I'll let you know when we do. It's the same weekend as Mad Monster. I'm like, okay, well, just let me know as soon as you can. That way I can pick the dates because I want to see Ogre. And Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, he's going to be there too. So, yeah. I haven't been to a convention in years. I went to the sci-fi convention once in Maryland when I was a teenager. Lee Majors was there. $6 Million Man. It wasn't for me. It was for a family member. Rachel Tuomi. I don't know if you care for Wednesday 13, but they're playing in South Carolina. Actually, Jack from Wednesday 13, he was the guitar tech for Lords of Acid on this last tour. Great guy. And I saw Wednesday 13 open for Cradle of Filth a few years ago. Lindsay Schoolcraft was still in the band. Favorite thrash album of all time. I mean, if you... It can either count as groove metal or it can count as thrash metal, but Slaughter in the Vatican by Exorder. Okay, so here's a fun thing that happened. I've been watching clips of the Predator movies lately because they're fucking badass. And what I found out by accident yesterday was that the second Predator movie, they shot a little music video of the Predators dancing. You know, in the end of the movie when they show the spaceship and Danny Glover finally beats the Predator and all the other Predators like come out. Well, it's in that setting. And they shot a little video of all the Predators doing these dances. And Danny Glover's like, yeah, this is the Predator. It was disturbing. Will you be at Louder Than Life? No, not really a festival guy. Cohen Taylor, what's your opinion on the new McKay location? It's a little closer to me, and I like the parking lot better. I like how spacious it is. Admittedly, I do like it better than the Greensboro one. And I've been going to the Greensboro one for years, but I do not miss that parking lot. And I don't miss taking turns out of that shithole. Fuck that place. But it's a double-edged sword, because since I go to Raleigh often, and McKay's and Mebane is on the way to Raleigh, that means I stop at McKay's more often. That is a money killer right there. Condor, just purchased your Killbot shirt. Thank you. Thank you so much. By the way, anybody who wants shirts or merch, the links for all of that is in the description. 2 months ago, I saw a Metal Girl DM the new Carrie King single, and 2 days later, her boyfriend sent me to stop talking. Made me mad. Isn't he dumb? Sent me to... How old are you guys, really? Yeah. So yeah, Predators dancing. And among the recent things I've gotten to do, there's I like pinball. And there was a gentleman on the tour bus with Lords of Acid back in Charlotte. And we were talking about Rush, and he was like, hey, there's a Rush pinball machine at the Pinball Museum in Asheville. There's also a Rush machine at Boxcar Arcade over in Raleigh, and there might be one in Durham. I'm not sure. So, a couple weekends ago, I went to visit Boxcar, and there was the Rush machine. And the cool thing is they had the screen of footage from mostly the 70s, also their last couple tours, where they were playing Rush songs. It was nice. Now, it was in a bar, so it was really loud, so what I did, I made a playlist specifically so I could listen to Rush while playing pinball. And it didn't help my game at all. I wasn't very good at it. But listening to Neil Peart's drums as the pins are going, it added something to it, I think. So, what songs did I play? There was Limelight, of course, La Ville Strangiato, Roll the Bones, The Wreckers, Passage to Bangkok, Subdivisions, YYZ, and I know there's like one or two more that I'm missing, but it was cool. And if you look on my Instagram, you can see a picture of me with the Rush machines. That was pretty nice. Okay. Any prog rock bands you're into? Pink Floyd, Rush. Thrasher, love the videos. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you. Going to any concerts this year? Tons, man. I mean, there are always shows that I'm trying to go to, and it's something I look forward to big time. I'll say this. The next time Nine Inch Nails plays on the East Coast, I'll be there. Oh, March Violets are touring. So, if any of you like Batcave era goth music, March Violets, baby. Big tour. And they have a new single coming out. Well, it's already out now, but hey, there you go. Okay, so we are 54 minutes into the stream. It's time to start talking about Lords of Acid in length. Yeah, so first of all, there's this big box set that I got pretty recently. They put it on eBay. There were 600 copies of this set made. It's called Sounds of Sin. It's a PragaCon box set. And what it is, it's a compilation of all the different, well, most of the different singles that came out from 1987 to about 2002. Because here's the thing about Lords of Acid, okay? In the beginning, it was three people. It was PragaCon, Oliver Adams, and Nikki, or Jade for You. I don't know. The singers all had a million names. But basically, they all released singles under a bunch of different names. And Lords of Acid was just like a little side project at first, like I mentioned earlier. So you know, it was just a couple singles as Lords of Acid, and then it became really popular. The label wanted them to be banned. But a lot of these singles that they released over time, it was only released on vinyl back in the 80s and the 90s, and a lot of them never made it to CD up until a few years ago with this box set. Unfortunately, I missed the boat getting this box set, and somebody put it on eBay recently. It was not cheap, but it's worth every penny. So I'm waiting for that to come in, and I can't wait to listen to it all. In the late 90s, there was a DVD called Screamed that came out. Look at how young they all were. If anybody saw these guys on the last tour, you know what they look like now. So, but yeah, different names. So Digital Orgasm, Channel X, Jade for You, PGclean, the Musical Reporters, you know, stuff like that. There's also Screamed 2. Unfortunately, I don't have that DVD yet. Maybe I'll correct that at some point if somebody posts it on Discogs for cheap. But yeah, there's that box set coming up. And I also missed the boat on the Contology box set, which has all of Praga's solo albums in one box set. But fortunately, you can buy them all separately on Bandcamp. So at some point, I'll get to that. Jesus spelled my guitar tabs. I gotta go. Glad I made it early. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have you heard of Genesis? Phil Collins gives me the shits, to be honest. Favorite movie, Fight Club, and Evil Dead 2. But yeah, so as the channel grows, do people recognize you more? Are there any fun stories from that? Oh, plenty. Yeah, people recognize me, and I love interacting with people, interacting with the fans. I'm a social person, so if you see me at shows, please come say hello. Or if you see me on the street, please say hello. You know, I've had a lot of people greet me warmly in different cities I've been to, and I've had people buy me waters, and there was this fucking bodacious babe over in Portland that we went to this nice exhibit when I was there. I mentioned this in the Agalok video I did last year. Bodacious babe. And then, of course, there's the Grib Jenga crew. They run a zine over in Portland. They were kind enough to invite me to the arcade. Very nice people. I signed someone's head once at a concert. I think that was at Obituary over in Carborough a few years ago. It was wonderful. I felt. And fortunately, all the interactions have been pretty nice. There was one guy who was kind of annoying, though. I was in Atlanta. I was with my ex at the time. We were at this Slaughter Q, is what it was called. It was a metal festival with a theme of barbecue, I guess. And I was in line to get food. And this guy kept wanting pictures. I was willing to take a picture with him. Took a picture. He said, thank you, and then walked away. And then he came back and said, hey, it didn't save to my phone. And we take another picture. Then he'd walk away. Then he'd come back. Hey, I'm sorry, it didn't save to my phone. And he kept doing this over and over and over and over again while I'm in line to go get food. And I'm like, okay, here, make sure it saves this time before you walk away. Okay, thank you so much. Like, I didn't lose my cool with him, but I think he could tell that I was getting a little exasperated, maybe. I don't know. Like, I didn't lose my cool with him. But as soon as me and my ex sat down, I was like, God damn. Like, I'm more than happy to sign stuff and take pictures with people, but like, god damn. Since I didn't get to the last stream, congrats on 60k subs. Thank you so much. Lords of Acid made the shouty Mortal Kombat song? Ain't no way. Yep, it was basically Lords of Acid, but it was under a different name. The name of the project they called it for that occasion was called The Immortals. Praga Khan and Oliver Adams. Except Praga wasn't in the studio that day, supposedly. It was just Oliver Adams, because Praga was like at a business meeting or something. But yeah, same guys. And so they got to play the Mortal Kombat theme while on tour this past tour, so that was really nice. Where'd you get that Celtic Frost poster? Courtesy of the Metalhead box. Thank you, Melissa. Did you make it to the Coffin Club in Portland? Dude, I posted pictures of that place. I loved that place. And I also featured in my Agalok video The video is called We Are the Wounds, The Return of Agalok. Go see it if you haven't. It's a lot of heart and soul went into that video. I was really depressed, and that show kind of helped to pull me out of it. I don't know, it's a little personal. I have a strong feeling you chose all the metal that played on the PA in the Lords of Acid Minneapolis show. Oh, you noticed that? Yeah, they played a lot of Obituary that night. I didn't choose it, but I was more than happy that they had it. If you could go back in time and see a band in concert, who would you see? I'd go see the Ramones. I'd see Nine Inch Nails on the Fragility tour. I'd see Manson on the Antichrist Superstar and Mechanical Animals tours. I'd go see Kiss on the reunion tours. I'd go see Skinny Puppy on the Last Rites tour, or any tour, really. But every tour! Why not all of them? I'd go see Bolt Thrower, of course. I'd go see... What other posters do I have? I'd go see KMFDM in the 90s. I'd go see Celtic Frost. Megaflux. Wow, I saw all those up to Kiss. Well, that's cool. Vile Harpsichord. There was a really hot guy in front of me at a black metal concert. He looked like Axl Rose. I didn't talk to him because I'm shy. I still think about it. That is called a misconnection, and that guy will probably be at another show. So keep going to shows, and don't be a wimp this time. Get any new CDs lately? Well, there's that Sounds of Sin box set that I have coming up. I'll post it on social media when I get it. But yeah, so all the Lords of Acid stuff. So I still need to frame these. What ended up happening, there was a really good concert photographer that got some amazing shots of the show. And when they posted all the pictures they got them with most of the other singers. I didn't see any with me singing. So I sent them a message, and I'm still waiting to hear back from them. They said that they have to look through their hard drive to see if they have any pictures of me. Because if they have any pictures of me singing with them, I'd like to get a print. That was my first time ever performing live. That was a special night for me. But yeah, so my little autographed lanyard, autographed by Praga Khan and Oliver Adams. And here are my interview questions from the ill-fated interview that unfortunately didn't happen. It was going to be good. Like, I never interviewed a band in person. Like, there are videos I've done where I've, like, talked to people in line at shows. But I'm talking, like, full-on interview. Okay, so here's what happened. Gigi told me that I could interview her. And I said, well, if I'm going to interview you, maybe I should also interview Maurice while I'm at it. And then she told everybody I was coming. And then Oliver said, oh, you should interview me too. So I was like, my first interview being 3 of you at once. Challenge accepted. So I went on YouTube, learned tips, tricks, techniques, talked to some peers who have interviewed a lot of people. I've read up on a lot of past interviews with these people, and I had some amazing questions. I had some really amazing questions, and I had little jokes and segues and little banter to go between them to make them feel at ease and make the interview flow a lot better. You know, talking about the new album, talking about the new singer, and talking about the working relationship and all that stuff. And then things happened the way they happened, and Gigi wasn't at the final show in Los Angeles. She left after the San Francisco show. No comment on the situation, but she wasn't there. And once I heard that she wasn't there and I saw that the situation was what it was, I said, well, there goes my interview. Like, selfishly thinking that, because, like, the first thing on my mind was, oh, fuck, what are they going to do about a singer? Then the other thing on my mind was, so she said that I could crash in her hotel room after the show. I didn't book a hotel for myself. I might not have a place to sleep tonight. Uh-oh. I got really nervous for a few minutes. So that was what came to my mind. And then after the initial shock of that wore off, I was like, well, there goes my interview. All that research, all that time, all that work. I even bought a second microphone for the interview. Yep, bought a second microphone, shelled out that money. Brought all that fucking camera equipment in my bag that I had to carry around all over the airport, all over Los Angeles. My bag was full. My back hurt, man. All that for nothing. I thought, son of a bitch. And it actually made me nervous about going to approach the tour bus to let everybody know I was there, because like they all knew who I was, they all knew to expect me, and I was good company, I guess. And after a while, I hung back for a while, and then after a few minutes, I was like, okay, I need to figure out where I'm staying tonight. Well, one thing led to another, and the show happened, and they were calling up different singers in the area who could sing a couple songs at a time. And on the tour bus in Charlotte, Pink Floyd was played over and over. And let's see, The Great Gig in the Sky specifically, that was played like 3 or 4 times in a row. And eventually I did my own impression of Great Gig in the Sky. Okay, I haven't warmed up. So let's just say I impressed them that I could hit those notes. And backstage, I said, listen, you know, if I can offer my services, I know the songs, and I'm willing to get in a G-string. Like, half jokingly, half not. I totally would have, though. But, you know, I demonstrated my ability to hit the notes in Great Gig in the Sky. And Braga, he said, well, can you take control? I was still seated in my chair. I did the woes. Whoa, whoa. And then he was like, well, can you do rough sex? Whoa, 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 whoa. Again, I haven't warmed up. My Gatorade's out. But they were both like, well, you know what? You're singing for us tonight. So, yeah. That was... all that hyping myself up for the interview that I'd done that week, that was my friend Aaron Tanner. Thank you, Aaron. He had interviewed a bunch of bands before. He told me a big trick. He was like, look, psych yourself up. Don't be arrogant, but psych yourself up. You know, say like you're the right man for the job. And in the hours of practicing, I kept saying to myself, I'm the right man for the job. I'm the right man for the job. I'm the right man for the job. So on the back of these interview questions that I had, I was writing out these cues, and you might be able to see if it focuses, you know, when I'm supposed to come in. But like, they played shortened versions of those songs live anyway. So what eventually happened when they started playing Take Control, which one? When I started playing Take Control, I just had him cue me in. I yelled for him. I was like, hey, cue me in. So he raised his hand, pointed, whoa, whoa. And I got that idea because I saw Swans a couple months ago. And you know how Swans, most of their songs are 40, 50 minutes now. It's a lot to remember. So the drummer and the bass player, they were on the right of the stage from my perspective. Michael was in the front, and what he was doing, he was playing the songs. The bass player and the drummer were watching him. And Michael, after he'd get finished playing his parts, he put his guitar down, and he'd go up to them, just waving his hands, cueing them in, raising them, crescendoing, slamming them down. He was like a conductor. I'd never seen anything like that before. It impressed me, and that's what stayed in my mind about that show. And then when I set my cue cards down in front of the monitor, like, for the most part, I remembered when I was supposed to come in, but I was like, well, fuck. There's the band conductor right over there. Just ask him. So, there you go. Well, you got to sing live with them, and holy hell, can you hit those high notes. Thank you. Hey, never did I imagine that would ever happen, because all the acid history have been women. Okay, the thing just kind of crapped out, so hopefully this is still... Okay, still good, looks like. So I just froze for a minute. But yeah, like male singers. So there were a couple on the last album as guest vocalists. Praga, of course, sings a few things here and there, like Rough Sex. Out Comes the Evil, he sings a few lines. But like that was really cool. I got to front them for 2 songs. Never did I imagine that would happen once I started listening to them. And it was cool because like his wife Enya, she did my makeup for me just to spice it up. I was like, oh yeah, this is so happening. She did my eye makeup and she put me in her dress. So the dress that I was wearing on stage with Lords of Acid, that was the dress that she was wearing during the Praga concert. I looked fucking great in that dress. I almost didn't want to give it back. And that's what everybody was saying after the show too, was like, hey, yeah, you looked really good in that dress. And in Praga's case, it was like, you know, it was his wife's dress, so he was like, oh, you look really good in that dress. You're gonna make me fall in love with you. It was just, man, it was just such a great night altogether. And keep in mind, like there were some of the singers like Susan Starr. There was Gina from Little Miss Nasty. There was Christy, who got to sing Pussy. Got to talk to her before the show. Who else was there? There was Devora from the opening band. And I want to say there's there's me. And I want to say someone else got up to dance. I don't know if they got to sing, but they got to dance at least. Yeah, like we all did the best we could with the little time we had. In my case, I knew the songs, of course, but I just wanted to make sure that I knew when to come in at the right times. And as far as everybody else, they had whole verses to learn in a matter of hours. So, yeah, a lot of people said, oh, yeah, they were off time. They were flat. It's like, yeah, no fucking shit. They only had 4 hours to learn the songs. You know, it was, there was nervous excitement. Like, it was exciting. It was fun for us. But also, like, if anybody was wondering why that happened, yeah, it's because we had little time to learn it all. But it was worth it. It was worth every second of it. And, you know, I admire the professionalism of everybody involved because the show must go on. The only time a Lords of Acid show will get canceled is if Praga gets sick. So, there you go. Just goes to show men can wear dresses. You know, it reminded me of AC/DC. In the 70s, they were on TV. They played Baby Please Don't Go. And Bond dressed in drag and got on stage and didn't tell anybody he was going to do it. So when you see Phil Rudd laughing his ass off at Bond, that's legit. He didn't know that Bond was going to get out there and do that. Favorite video game? I know it's off topic. Donkey Kong Country 2. I'm also a huge Doom fan. I'm a huge Blood fan. A huge Super Metroid fan. Huge Castlevania Symphony of the Night fan. Yeah. Kevin Hampton, I sat in with a band as a percussionist with no practice, and yeah, those cues are really important. Nice move to think of it. Absolutely. Like, as long as they have free hands that they can do that with, ask them to do it, you know? It helps. It really does help. And by the way, it leaves a good impression on the person that you're asking to do it for, because it shows them that you're wanting to do a good job. And that's what Praga told me after the show. He was like, yeah, I like that you asked me to cue you in. I was like, hey, I want to come in on time. Because that first, whoa, that's a solo. You know, that has to be right or you're going to fuck it up. And I didn't want to fuck up, you know. This is one of my favorite bands and I wanted to do right by them. So, yeah, I was extremely happy with how the night turned out. And also, a little side note, the security was a lot nicer in Los Angeles and in Minneapolis than they were in Charlotte. If any of you have seen my video, Concert Stories Part 5, The security in the Charlotte show, those guys were hard asses. They wouldn't even let the band escort anybody. It was bullshit. But the security in Minneapolis, I actually complimented them because they were cool people. You know, got to hang out with those guys all night when Gigi was taking smoke breaks and stuff. And then in Los Angeles, they didn't bother anybody. It was cool, you know. They weren't professional hall monitors. Like, they did their job, but they weren't power mad. Have you heard of rigor mortis? Yeah, I have. Killbot femboy arc, it seems. No, I'm pretty straight, but you know, I'm real secure about who I am. So, you know, they wanted to put me on a dress, and I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. Steamed Clams. Have you listened to any of the movie scores by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross? Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Social Network. And lately, I've been in the mood for some How to Destroy Angels because I listened to those albums when they came out and haven't heard them in a while. I always really loved this EP. How to Destroy Angels. I believe it's named after a Coil EP. And the song BBB, Big Black Boots, sexy as fuck. And I guess it's getting more out there lately because Little Miss Nasty, burlesque group, they've been playing that as part of their shows recently. For good reason. Sexy. Sexy as hell. What was the first band that got you into metal? Fuck. As far as underground metal, it's Population Reduction and Dark Throne. You know, I'd listen to Metallica and Pantera for a few years before that, but I mean, we're talking metal, you know? Dark Throne, Immortal, Satyricon, Celtic Frost, Immolation. I'm not even going to dignify that with an answer. Jenna Torturers was sexy as hell live. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. I seen them twice. They were better the first time than they were the second time, but I'm still absolutely going to see them again when they come through next time. Favorite metal band of all time, doesn't matter what genre. Let's see. Gwar and Agalok. Let's see. Of course, you also got Typo, you've got Caius, you've got Exorta. Black Sabbath. Crash my bike. Been a while. Glad to see you again. Thank you. Thank you so much. Favorite punk band by You Got a Fraud? The Ramones. Huge Ramones fan. BC Chops. What bands would you go to the Sphere for? What does that mean? The Sphere. Cohen Taylor. What's a metal musician you wish you could bring back to life? Dave Brockie. Imagine the stuff I could ask him. He would love the channel, by the way. Especially with one of his creations, Gorgor, being part of the name of it. And by the way, it's been a while, so, you know, $10, my shirt will come off. Anybody who wants to throw in a super chat, come on in. What's your opinion on Era Vulgaris, Queens of the Stone Age? Oh, love that album. I liked it when it came out, and I still love it. You know, it's the weird album of the Queens of the Stone Age catalog, but that's a good thing. I do prefer it over the stuff that came afterwards, so, yeah. I saw Queens of the Stone Age in Raleigh about a month ago. Well, it's coming up on a month and a half, but it was a nice show. They didn't play Sick, 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 but they do that pretty much every other show, so I guess they wanted a break from the song. Any horror movie franchises you like? Oh, a bunch. Big horror guy. Where's the Bolt Thrower poster from? Joe Bench sent me that. Now, if you want one for yourself, you can buy the Honor, Valor, Pride vinyl from Metal Blade, and it'll come with the poster. But Joe Bench sent me that poster as a thank you for doing the bolt thrower video back in 2017. Incredibly kind woman. We shared an email correspondence for about 2 weeks. I sent her another email about a year later. Never heard back from her, but super kind woman. Gotta go now and exam tomorrow. Well, thank you for joining, man. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll see you again. Megalomaniac, what did you think of Thrill Kill Cult live? Dude, they rolled. I mean, there were a couple songs that I didn't really know or remember, but it was a fun time. And what I liked about Thrill Kill Cult was they didn't blast you with volume. So I could watch the show and listen without earplugs in, and it didn't kill my ears. So, you know, they played a lot of classics. Rivers of Blood, Days of Darkness, Cooler Than Jesus, After the Flesh. I don't think they played Waiting for Mommy. Sex on Wheels, of course. What band have you seen the most times? I have seen Lead into Gold 9 times. It's because they opened for Skinny Puppy 8 times, and then I saw Lead into Gold open for Ogre Solo Band. That's a lot of Paul Barker. Everybody loves Paul Barker. You go up to Paul Barker and say, I love you, man. He'll go, oh, thank you. Pogo Lasuli, what do you think of the Finnish band Him? Well, I'll answer that question with a question. Would you die tonight for love? They're okay. It's not really my music, but... New venue in Vegas with the expensive-ass tickets for the full LED screen effect. Okay. Thrill Kill Cult actually surprises people. Few people go to a show to see them, but they seem to steal the show a lot. Well, they've been around for a long time, so they know what makes a great show and what doesn't. Now, I have heard people say that there was a period of time where their shows were horrible. But, I mean, that music was kind of dead for a few years. You know, it's kind of like KMFDM. When KMFDM started, apparently their live shows were awful. But then in the 90s, when they got more popular, they learned how to entertain an audience better. Now, Sasha is still a fucking boring frontman. I love the guy, but he sits and does nothing. Okay? At least Ogre is going to go dress up in costumes and wave his hands around and do stuff like that, you know? Teenage Metal Critic, what's the game you played in Waiting for a Metal Show? That was Brutal Legend. Do you like root beer? Yes, typically frosty, typically pairs well with a pizza. Spot on Paul Barker impression. Haha, yes. I handed him my Filth Peg CD to sign, and it was already signed by Al Jorgensen, so he was like, oh, I see. I see Al's been there. Anyway. What do you think of Electric Wizard? It's pretty nice. Hey, what if you had a parody band? Electric Wizard Sleeve. You know, it would be about vulvas. Sex. I don't know. Saw them with KMFDM last, actually, and the other 5 people with me had never really heard their music, but they were amazed. Well, that's good. Would you oil up? Maybe. I don't know. What's an iconic show you wish you could have seen live? Skinny Puppy 2000, Dresden. For those who are in the know, that is the Doomsday Show. That was also Back and Forth Part 5. The live album. But I've been to my share of iconic shows myself, so there you go. It has always been a dream, however, to be at a show where a live album's being recorded. What I'm thinking about starting to do, I'm thinking about getting like one of those Tascam portable recorders and bootlegging the shows, maybe. Like do maybe a line in from the mixing board. That would be nice, you know, have some really good audio. Fuzzmaster General, what songs do you recommend for getting into ministry? Well, that depends. What do you like? Because if you like industrial stuff, Thieves will be pretty good. If you like metal stuff, like thrash metal stuff, Lies, 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 Senor Peligro, that stuff will do. If you like sludge metal and doom metal, Lava. And Filth Pig, the song. That whole album is one of my favorite albums of all time. The replay value is high, and I will crank that fucker up any day. Man, my throat is killing me. Okay, so 1 hour and 26 minutes we've been streaming. Okay. If anyone wants to throw in a super chat, I'll take my shirt off for the rest of the stream. Minimum $10. Because we only got a few minutes left of the stream. I'm going to do this for about 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to call it. Because it's 6 o'clock, and I want some chimichangas. Who do you think's the best metal bass player, in your opinion? Fuck. Alex Webster's up there. Nah, fuck it, Alex Webster. I don't care. What else can I talk about that I haven't talked about? I think I've discussed pretty much everything on this list. Oh, there's a new band that I discovered pretty recently called Cast Product. They were a French electronic band, Cold Wave, and I found them through Instagram of all places. Because somebody did one of those flashback posts where they were showing one of the music videos, and it reminded me of Adult. You know, Adult's really good, industrial, married duo. Fucking incredible stuff. They opened for Throw Kill Cult the last tour. And what somebody mentioned in the comments was that Cast Product was the original Adult, because it was two of them, and they did this industrial-ish cold wave type stuff, and a lot of their stuff is on Bandcamp, so I've been checking that out lately. It's interesting. I like it. Awesome bar. Who's your celebrity crush, man? I got a bunch of them. Fuck. Christina Scabia, my girl. Elise Red, of course, or Ride, or however the fuck you pronounce that. Anne Hathaway. Megaflux, $10, but keep your shirt on. Oh, are you sure? Are you sure? Tell you what, somebody wants to give me $15, I'll disobey this person's rule. I'll take it off. Don't worry. Ha asks, what do you think of the bands that still go for the tape and CD format, but no profile or info on Bandcamp or any of the independent music websites? I think they're shooting themselves in the foot, because I think you need the internet as far as exposure now. Because the labels aren't going to do fucking shit for you these days. Like, yes, physical format is going to be how you get paid for your music. And it's going to be how people connect with your music, but you do need the exposure. So for a lot of bands that aren't around anymore, like Cast Product, they haven't released anything since 1990, and unfortunately one of the members died a few years ago. So this is how you keep the music alive, is you use the internet to circulate that stuff. Dystopia, they've been broken up for the longest time. Fortunately, Scotty from Tank Crimes, he's used his power and his pull, and he's been able to revive their catalog as far as popularity goes, and Dystopia has become popular again in the digital age. I love this. Megalomaniac, do you have any bootleg CDs? Of course. There's the X-Order demo CD I have, which is incredible. It has the Get Rude and Slaughter in the Vatican demos. I know I've got a bunch of other bootlegs. Oh, I guess technically this could count as a bootleg. This is Immolation, Stepping on the Backs of Angels. This has all of their early demos, even before they were called Immolation. It was not cheap. But it's really cool to have, I think. Yeah, tons of great stuff. I'm trying to think of what other bootlegs I might have. Not on this shelf. Where do you recommend getting rare or out-of-print CDs? eBay and Discogs. And shop between those two, because sometimes people mark up the price on either site. And also, if it's out of your price range, it's okay to wait a while. Someday the CD will show up again and you can buy it for cheaper. Most of the time. Lizzie Hale, yeah, of course. Bought one CD for $30, independent, signed autograph. I kept for a few weeks, so that's cool. My dad won't let me buy an At the Gate CD, which I do to convince him to let me get it. Just buy it in secret somehow. May Credible, hey, what's up? It's been a while. Favorite 3 album covers. Let's see, Left Hand Path, Mental Funeral. I really love Black Sabbath's Heaven and Hell. It's a great album cover. Skinny Puppy's Last Rites. So many great album covers. You know what I should do? I should just do a video on my favorite album covers. Because why not? Kiss, Creatures of the Night, that's a great one. The Downward Spiral, that's another great one. Anything I'm missing? Oh yeah, let's see. Ghoul, Splatter Thrash. What's the best live show you've been to this year? Lords of Acid. Hands down. They were fucking incredible. I dare say Crypto was really good too. Saw them in February. And I even got one of their cups. I ought to start using this. And lastly, before we leave, I may as well show off some of the other Lords of Acid swag and stuff that I got. Let's see, there's this little tote bag right here. This was helpful when Oliver gave me his shoes. Yep. That was the first tour that Oliver had been on in 22 years, I think he said. So he got these shoes for the tour, and he was going to throw them away because they're all busted up. But he said, hey, if you want them, I'll sign them for you. It's like, okay. And yes, I did disinfect and deodorize these when I got home. God, he was such a nice guy. And let's see, what else? So we have the set list from the show, and you can see my name on this part. And at first they wanted to give me a stage name. They were like, hey, what stage name would you like to pick? I'm like, just call me Tony. Can we call you Killbot? I said, well, you could call me Mr. Coffee, because I grind so fine. But that didn't stick for some reason. Let's see, a little handwritten lyrics for the Crab Louse, because as I mentioned in the video, he didn't remember all the lyrics off the top of his head, and I stole the Green Room sign and had them autograph it for me. To Tony, we will meet you again. Thank you so much. I might have those frames too. I just haven't decided what to do with those yet, so at the moment they're just in the scrapbook. Megaflux. I think Bloody Kisses is better on acid. I've never done acid. Guy keeps asking me about Metallica. I don't give a shit about Metallica. Okay, we're at 1:35, so I think it's time to start wrapping up. So, if any of you haven't seen my latest videos, the links are in the description. Please go see them. I worked my ass off on them. If you would like merch, I have patches for $6.66 a piece, free shipping anywhere in the world. I have stickers for $2 a piece, and I have t-shirts for $20. You can get them on Amazon, or you can get them from me directly. You can go to my Patreon and choose that as a reward, or you can go to my social media pages and send me a message, and I'll actually get a little more money that way, as long as you have PayPal. So, thank you all for joining in, and until next time, grind on. Time to get some chimichangas.